If you clicked on this video expecting me to complain about the floaty combat, that's not gonna happen. I didn't find any issue with the combat being floaty, and if it wasn't for those YouTube videos that I watched on them, then it never would have been an issue for me at all. But that's not one of these reasons. Hi guys, I'm Subzero Degrees, and these are my 13 issues that I had with Kingdom Hearts 3. So my first issue with the game is that there's no explanation at all on how Sora gained his new powers. The story talks about how at the end of Dream Drop Distance, Sora almost succumbed to the darkness, and because of that, he had to start over from level 1. But in this game, right after the first world, or even in the first world, he has the attraction, reaction commands, and he has the ability to do Keyblade transformations. But the story gives no explanation at all on why Sora can do this and why we haven't seen other Keyblade wielders do this. Don't get me wrong, I love the new additions in the Keyblade transformations and the attraction commands. I just wish he could have at least went to Merlin or the 3 fairy godmothers who taught him his drive forms in Kingdom Hearts 2 to give him an explanation for unlocking this new ability. Sora, mind you, is not a Keyblade master, and he was the only one able to do Keyblade transformations. Not Master Aqua, not Master Mickey, not Master Riku, only Sora. When I saw Lingering Will do this at the end of the story, I was like, what the heck is going on with his Keyblade? Then I'm like, oh wait, that's a Keyblade transformation. Issue number 2. There were absolutely no reasons to visit the worlds a second time in this game, other than going for 100% completion or to farm synthesis materials. In Kingdom Hearts 2, the story was broken up into parts where you would have to return to the world to finish out the story, and once you returned to the world, there would be stronger versions of the Heartless than when you came there the first time. Issue number 3. I didn't like how there were no 1v1s against the Organization 13 members, not even in Battle Gates. Now I perfectly understand why Sora didn't have one-on-one fights with the Organization members at the end, because it would be dumb for the story to have basically one light defeating 13 darknesses. But we should have been able to fight them while we were in the worlds we visited. Xigbar in Olympus, Marluxia in the Tangled World, Larxene in Arendelle, and Luxord in the Caribbean, so on and so forth. They didn't have to die in those worlds and be recompleted. We could have just fought them once and then they retreat back to the Keyblade graveyard. But since they decided to do it the way that they did, they could have at the very least added more battle gates for us to fight each of the organization members one-on-one. Issue number 4. Sora loses all hope after his friends disappear from a demon tower. In my head I'm thinking, dude, don't you want to be a Keyblade master? You've never been one to give up this easily. Here's Riku showing all his feats of a Keyblade master while he steps in front of you with his Keyblade, telling you not to give up. Aqua was in the realm of darkness for nearly a decade. I mean, she eventually did succumb to the darkness, but she was in there for quite a while fighting and giving it her all, trying to save her 2 best friends, and here you are, you just lost everyone, and you're giving up. I bet you in this moment, if dual-wielding Roxas came out, he wouldn't give up. Even the Sora we know from Dream Drop Distance or Kingdom Hearts 2 wouldn't have given up. The Sora in Dream Drop Distance went like 4 layers deep into dreams, trying to save his friends. And the fact that it was a demon tower that defeats, 6 of 7 lights, plus Donald and Goofy? It was a great scene to witness. I mean, cheerful Sora finally being in despair, but come on, a demon tower? I'm not buying it. Issue number 5. Luxord, Maleficent, and Vexen seem to be the only ones to care about the black box. It's such a mysterious part of Kingdom Hearts lore, but it barely played a role in the story. Everyone just kinda gave up looking for the box. Honestly, it was kind of random that Luxord was even searching for it. I may be missing something, but I'm pretty sure Xehanort made no mention of the box whatsoever. Even at the end, when the box was never found, it had nothing to do with Xehanort's final plan. Thank God for the reveal at the end explaining that Luxu had the box the entire time. Issue number 6, and this might be a particular issue just because of me. But Kairi's voice actor is not the original voice actor, Hayden Panettiere, that we know from Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's a very noticeable change. She's played by Alison Stoner, the voice of Xion. If you look at the entire story, Sora and Kairi's relationship seems to have been kind of put on the back burner. but that's what made us fall in love with the first game.
Kairi! Sora! Kairi! Remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise! I know you will!
I don't want to dock the game simply for nostalgic reasons, but for this one, I'ma have to. Many of us grew up with this game, so nostalgia definitely plays a factor for all of us. I'm curious, leave a comment below stating which Kingdom Hearts game was your first, and how old and what grade you were in when you first played it, and what age you are now. Also, let me know if you guys noticed the change too. For me, it was impossible to listen to Kairi talk because I just knew it wasn't Hayden Panettiere. But if you guys like Allison Stoner better, let me know in the comment section if you think she did a better job. I don't know why they did the replacement. Maybe it was because Hayden's voice was too childish and Kairi had grown up over the years. I'm not sure, but it just did not. Every other voice actor in the game was great, but this one, it just did not connect with me. Issue number 7. Axel and Kairi are Keyblade wielders, yet they did basically nothing at all. They trained together, but had nothing to show for it. I'll give Kairi the benefit of the doubt because she's kind of written to be the damsel in distress to motivate Sora. But come on, Axel. Axel saved Sora and possibly the world in Dream Drop Distance using only his chakrams. Once his Keyblade got destroyed like glass tableware by Xemnas, he was absolutely powerless. Like, I'm just gonna sit back and while Sora fights my best friend Saix for me. I was 100% certain that he was about to pull out his old chakrams and put in work. Also, this is a bit nitpicky, I'll admit, but why is his Keyblade a flame? It looks plastic.
Is this supposed to be a Keyblade? Or is it some sort of joke?
Just give him the Bond of Flame Keyblade, it looks so much better. This ties into issue number 8. The Sora, Roxas, and Xion versus Saix battle.
You're not supposed to be here!
Promises to keep. I'll always be there to get my friends back. What? Bad timing? You had your perfect little script, but you kind of forgot to write the sequel. Now, let's find out what happens. Isa.
I get it. Let's have 3 versions of Sora team up and fight. I get it. But this was such a missed opportunity to have Axel fight with his 2 best friends. The chemistry between the 3 is unparalleled. There was an entire game dedicated to the bond between the 3, and yes, I loved 358 over 2 days for the DS. The 3 of them teaming up to fight against Saix would have been the perfect payoff for them, especially since they end up saving Saix. Think I'm wrong? Okay, tell me why once the 3 Soras defeat Saix, Axel and Saix own the entire cutscene afterward as Saix fades to black. Sora and team don't even say a word. Issue number 9. I love the ending. I think the ending was done amazingly. But I feel like the ending was rushed, and by rushed, I mean there was way too much payoff too fast. We've been dealing with issues and speculations between the characters throughout like 10 games. What's going to happen with who? How is his story going to end? And everyone wrapped up their story in the last 2 to 3 hours of the story. I know it's the final battle between 7 lights and 13 darknesses, but they could have spread some things out a little bit more. For instance, we could have saved Aqua midway through the story. Then after visiting a couple other worlds, we could have saved Ventus from the Land of Departure / Castle Oblivion, thus accumulating our 7 lights. Then after playing one final world like Big Hero 6 for instance, we could have all went to the Keyblade graveyard together. But having everything back to back to back right all at the end made it feel like a rushed ending. It was a great ending, don't get me wrong. The ending was the best part of the game. Issue number 10. There were absolutely no Final Fantasy characters except for the Moogle in the synthesis shop and the Cactuar cameo in Toy Box. I would have liked if Sephiroth was the final battle gate, but I'm not going to dock the game just because I want Sephiroth in it. I'm sure Tetsuya Nomura has a reason for not including Final Fantasy characters. But there were 3 missing Final Fantasy characters that needed to be in this game. And I'm talking about Tidus, Selphie, and Wakka. Do you remember them? Sora, Riku, and Kairi's only other friends on Destiny Islands. During the ending movie, when everyone regrouped back on Destiny Islands playing Frisbee together and stuff, I was like, where's Wakka? Where's Tidus and Selphie? Were they just forgotten? Oh, I guess so. Issue number 11. The final secret boss, who isn't even really a secret because he's just like the last battle gate, the big boss Heartless. He is the most challenging fight in the game, but he isn't that difficult to beat even on Proud Mode. He has no significance to the story and there's no speculation to gain from fighting him. Like I said earlier, it could have been Sephiroth, it could have been a robed Lucio, maybe just a robed random that we could just speculate and assume to be the Master of Masters. I would have even taken another Lingering Will fight. Issue number 12. Now that I mention it, Lingering Will disappeared after fighting Terranort. We never saw him again. A lot of us were happy to see Lingering Will make a return. He was literally waiting in the Keyblade graveyard just as long as Aqua waited in the Realm of Darkness. He saves the team from Terranort, and we never see or hear from him again. Just like Tidus, Wakka, and Selphie, he was just forgotten. Issue number 13. The worlds had little to no story impact at all. It was literally just to level up Sora. Now I enjoyed the worlds, the design of each world was great, but I just wish they had more story impact. It seems the purpose of the worlds were to introduce which members of Organization 13 were returning. Their goals were to have backup lights in the princesses, just in case Sora and team were not able to gather 7 lights. But these additional lights weren't needed. They were never mentioned in the ending because there were already 7 lights. So it just kind of makes traveling to the worlds pointless, other than allowing Sora to regain his powers. Like I said earlier, it would have been a lot better if they let us fight each organization member at least once in each world before the ending. But bonus issue number 14, and this isn't an issue with the game, but how they marketed the game. I think that the game spoiled way too much in the trailers. The biggest one being that Aqua gave into the darkness. Immediately after the trailer, everyone was speculating that Aqua became a Xehanort. They were calling her Aquanort. And Tetsuya Nomura said during an interview that Aqua was not a Xehanort, that she just succumbed to the darkness, thus spoiling the game even more for us. Also, the trailer where Sora screams out in despair was a big spoiler because it was such a big part of the final battle, arguably one of the highlights. And that's what the speculation of, man, why is Sora, like what caused him to get to that point where he's screaming and he just gave up all hope. And then when you actually play the game and find out that he lost to a demon tower of just regular basic Heartless, it just kind of, it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's all for my issues with the game, so let me leave you with this. I loved this game. I don't regret my purchase or the 40 plus hours I put into this game. I love and have played all of the Kingdom Hearts games. I understand the story perfectly. Do I think it was worth the wait? Yes. Will I play through it again? Yes. When you love a series so much like the Kingdom Hearts community does, we notice the flaws and the possible improvements. Due to nostalgia, we constantly compare it to the previous games we loved. The lore and convoluted story is what keeps us coming back, and it looks like it will get even more complicated from here. There are many things I loved about this game that you can watch in my separate video, 13 Things I Loved About Kingdom Hearts 3. If you agreed with any of the things I mentioned, please leave a like or a comment on the video, and just let me know what you agree with and what you disagree with. And if you'd like to see more of my soon-to-come content regarding Kingdom Hearts 3, then subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be the first one to comment on the video. If you disagree with any of my issues, please leave a comment describing why. I'd really like to know. And be sure to leave a comment telling me when was your first time playing Kingdom Hearts, which game was it, and how old you are now. If you stuck around, thanks. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I will see you guys in the next video.